各位亲爱的小朋友们，大家好，我是新北市政府政风处的处长李礼显。小朋友看到我都喜欢叫我廉政爷爷哦。我们有很多义工妈妈都会到学校去为小朋友讲很多的廉政故事。你们可以告诉爷爷听过几个啦？最喜欢哪一个呢？嘿嘿，爷爷今天心情超好，为大家带来3个最好听的廉政故事哦，就是东东盖水坝、刺猬阿碰、好想要轨道车。我们呢把它录成很有趣的广播剧，后面还有翻译成英文版，大家可以顺便练习英文哦。小朋友有没有很开心啊？这3个故事内容在教大家要坚持诚实守信的原则，脚踏实地的做人，千万不可以说谎哦。小朋友要用心听，准备好了吗？开始喽。
Aaron the Hedgehog. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was the Forest Kingdom where many animals lived. The Tiger King governed the forest animals, and each animal had their own job, living happily and peacefully. Next to the forest was the Grassland Kingdom, governed by the Lion King. Sometimes the grassland animals did not have enough food to eat, so they would come to the forest to steal food. As a result, the Tiger King set up an army to protect the forest from the attacks of the grassland animals. The army had wild boars, big bears, and other strong animals. The Tiger King said to all the forest animals,
"In order to store food and feed our brave soldiers, everyone must hand over 1/10 of everything they collect for storage and protection."
All the forest animals felt that this was very reasonable and agreed. And so, the rabbits would give the king some of the carrots they grew. The monkeys would give the king some of the bananas they picked, and the sparrows would give the king some of the rice they sowed. The animals all happily followed the king's policy. But the king realized that the animals must travel a long way to the palace every time there was a harvest.
Considering the size of the forest, this is much too exhausting.
So the king decided that he would only collect food once a month, and that the hedgehogs would be responsible for collecting and delivering the food. If other animals were to try and steal the food that everyone worked so hard for, the hedgehogs could use their thorny spikes to fend them off. The hedgehogs were the perfect animals for the job. The hedgehogs also felt that being able to help the king was a great honor. And just like that, the hedgehogs would earnestly do their job every month. However, within the hedgehog clan was a little hedgehog named Aaron. Every month, he loathed collecting and delivering food for the king.
So tiring to lift such heavy food onto the cart and push it all the way to the palace. It's so tiring. Why not let the animals deliver their own food? The king empathized with the other animals, but what's in it for me?
Aaron would always complain like this, and gradually he started to lose his temper with the forest animals.
Hurry up! I haven't got all day.
One day, while the hedgehogs were transporting food, they heard a sound. It was a pack of wolves from the grasslands. The leader of the pack saw all the food and was salivating. But the hedgehogs worked together to repel the wolves, protecting the food that was to be delivered to the palace. This event became known throughout the forest and caused the hedgehogs to become arrogant. They stopped treating the other animals nicely, and as a result, everyone came to dislike the hedgehogs. This incident didn't help make Aaron feel any better about his job.
Don't wolves eat meat? Our cargo was mostly vegetables and rice, so for them to want to steal our food means that they must have been starving. Maybe if I secretly stole some food and sold it to the grassland animals in return for goods, then I can benefit from this meaningless job. Wouldn't that be great?
And so, Aaron found a hidden cave in the woods, and every time they transported food, he would secretly steal a little and hide it in the cave. Then come nightfall, he would go and trade with the grassland animals. One day, there was a herd of deer that couldn't find any food to eat. They had heard of a forest animal trading food and eventually found Aaron. Aaron saw the antlers on their heads and liked them very much. He wanted the deer to trade their biggest antler for a big basket of apples and bananas. The herd leader felt that this request was very humiliating. Even though breaking off an antler wouldn't do them any harm, the antlers still took a long time to grow and maintain. Aaron saw how reluctant the herd leader was and said,
Okay then, since you're that reluctant, I won't force you. You guys can go and find food yourselves.
The herd leader looked at all the hungry deer and had no choice but to agree. One winter's day, as Aaron shivered in the cold, he wished he had something to keep him warm. He suddenly remembered.
Oh, that's right. I have some wool that I got from the sheep last time.
And so Aaron went to his hidden cave and got the wool. Just as he started to feel warm, an animal came out of nowhere and bumped into him head-on. Aaron angrily shouted,
What do you think you're doing?
It turned out to be a little rabbit, and she promptly apologized to Aaron. But the little rabbit thought it was weird that he was wearing wool, and so asked,
Aaron, why are you wearing wool?
Oh, this one time I helped a sheep whose leg was stuck in a hole in the ground. I happened to walk past and helped him out. So he gave me this wool as thanks.
Aaron rushed home as soon as he finished explaining, afraid that the little rabbit would continue to ask questions. But the little rabbit wasn't so gullible and thought,
Forest animals never deal with grassland animals. The hedgehogs are so arrogant, acting like they're the greatest thing. So why on earth would they go and help the grassland animals?
The little rabbit decided to watch Aaron closely. She realized that every time the animals gave food to the hedgehogs, Aaron would act suspiciously and always be the last to leave. One time, the hedgehogs decided to deliver the food to the palace the following day because it was already dark by the time they had finished collecting the food. That night, Aaron pushed a cart full of food deep into the woods. The little rabbit followed him and thought,
Isn't this where I bumped into him last time?
Then the little rabbit heard the sound of a big stone rolling. She couldn't believe what she saw. In front of her was a big cave filled with food, as well as things that the forest didn't have. The little rabbit decided to continue following Aaron. One day, the little rabbit found Aaron sneakily going out at night. Aaron first went to the big cave to get a basket of cabbage, and then he went to the border between the forest and grasslands. Aaron gave the basket of cabbage to the zebra leader, and the zebra gave him lots of large ostrich feathers. The little rabbit thought,
So that's what's going on.
The next day, the little rabbit went to the Tiger King and told him of what Aaron was doing. The Tiger King dispatched a group of squirrels to help the little rabbit investigate this matter. Then, one day, as Aaron was trading with some voles, he was caught red-handed. The king went to Aaron's cave and confiscated all the food and things he had been hiding. Aaron was hereby forbidden from participating in the transportation of food, and the whole hedgehog clan was removed from their position. Instead, now the animals would take turns collecting and delivering food, and would be rewarded for their efforts. As Aaron did not fulfill his duties, the king felt that Aaron could not be trusted again, and banished him from the forest. In addition, the king realized that even though the Forest Kingdom and Grassland Kingdom had never been on good terms, Aaron was still able to trade goods, indicating that the Grassland Kingdom was willing to trade because food was scarce. The Tiger King decided to reach an agreement with the Lion King to allow the trading of food, benefiting both sides. Ever since Aaron got caught, the hedgehogs could no longer look down upon the other animals. In fact, they felt shame due to Aaron's actions and ran away as soon as they saw other animals. The Tiger King acknowledged the little rabbit's loyalty and asked her to be the overseer of palace food storage, as well as the overseer of trade with the Grassland Kingdom. From that day forward, the forest and grassland animals all enjoyed a much better quality of life.